Hi and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. It's day 2 of the June Waffle. Today is section 28. So we do have quite a bit of white on this one. I have gone round this, though it doesn't feel like it when I'm here. I have gone round with a craft knife just a little bit again so that I could actually take this off in one section, though it does help that it was the bottom edge, that's for sure. I actually had something to grab hold of. I did think, with it being a bottom one, of actually tucking my diamond painting under my trays, but I had visions of moving it and I was like, no, that's not a good option. It doesn't help that my camera angle isn't totally straight. Let's try that. I don't want to roll it up too much more because then I can't see my trays, but I have rearranged a little bit because I've now split them so that I have an even level so that I can move my canvas up. These are all numbers and letters bar 1. And then these are all symbols. So what I've done is I've put my white under the letters and numbers. And then all my symbols then are to the right. So I want to grab my one that is all white. And I need to fill this bad boy up again. So let's just tip like loads. Because as long as I can tip, no, maybe I shouldn't have done that many. As long as I can tip some of them to the edge, I tend to reshuffle quite a bit anyway. So let's go with the ones, let's just start placing diamonds, otherwise I'm going to make a proper mess. So I'm going to work on with this pen today. This one was a gift from P Jelly. It does have a glue dot in it. I'm not sure how primed the glue dot is. I'm not actually going to be able to zoom in that much on this one, but I want to work on my bottom edge first because this is the edge of my canvas. So I am going to get this as close as I can to being nice and straight. If you remember yesterday, I said there was 2 colours that I haven't yet tipped into my trays. So I did 16 colours in yesterday's section, and there is only 2 out of my 18 trays that I haven't yet used, and one of them is in this section, which is the letter H. The other one I've not yet used, so we'll see how long it takes me to tip the last purple colour into a tray. Is it 550? It is. 550 will be the last colour to be used according to my decision wheel, choosing which section I work on next. So what I did was I have a decision wheel that has the number 1 to 30 on it, and to ensure that I could put up a Facebook post and actually have a Facebook post that went up each and every day to tell you all which section was next, I sat there and spun the decision wheel, well, 29 times, because it was pretty obvious what it was going to pick for the last one, because it was the only number that was left. I span the decision wheel 29 times to get which order to put the 30 numbers, and I marked them on my YouTube schedule. Just going to lift that up just to make sure that I'm tucking underneath. Yeah, I marked them on my YouTube schedule to tell me which day was which number. I didn't have my painting anywhere near me, so I had no way of knowing which section was getting picked when, whether it would be a good, bad or an ugly section, because we're getting them all done in June. So what does it matter which order they are actually done in? And the answer is it doesn't, as long as they get done. So for what I've done for now is I've done my full bottom row, taking care, and then because I have a lot of white on this one, I'm doing 4. Seems to be my go-to number for this, is I like to do steps in 4. Maybe it's because I get through it a little bit quicker than if I just did a row of 3. By doing a row of 4 each time, I work my way through the painting a little bit quicker, but it doesn't feel as though it takes me forever to get to the end like it can do if I do a row of 5. I seem to have found that 4 is my magic number. Maybe that should make me get a 4-placer and give a 4-placer a go and see how far I get. I don't know if I'm ready for that on day 2 though. Not quite sure. I'd probably regret it if I didn't, but I have enough comments and questions to go through at the moment. I do 2 whip and chats a week normally. Of course, June Waffle, it is 7 a week, but I normally do 2. So I have quite a few comments and questions to go through anyway. So I'm just going to keep on plodding. At least, you know, the exciting bit will be a bit later on when I start getting out all my different trays. I won't have to keep looking up all the numbers because I've placed diamonds in most of the trays now. So it'll probably be a little bit quicker to fill in all the blanks. But I do prefer it on this painting anyway. It can depend on what painting it is. But quite often if I have either a big block of a background like this, or if maybe it has a lot of black outlines on an image. Some artists are very well known for having black outlines on a lot of their images, their artwork. I like to do either the solid background or the black outlines first and then save the filling in the gaps for later. So let's see how many questions I can get through while I am potentially less distracted, and only really distracted by the fact that I've probably filled this tray far too much. So I'm just doing a few lines and spreading them out. But comment on my Heaven and Earth design. Trish said, she said she would definitely try to set up my crown jewel canvas before I do a massive de-kitting and storage cleanup. She said this way you will know which drills you need for the new project before you give them away and have to reacquire. Yes, I agree. Oh, I've got one that is actually a diamond. I'm not even sure if you can see that, but it is a true diamond shape rather than a square. So we'll bob that one in the little rejects pile. And I've just got something caught on my canvas that was not white in colour. Definitely the wrong colour for this canvas. She says her crown jewel canvas has different symbols to the PDF cross-stitch pattern. Oh, all the ones that we've seen or checked have had the same one. So I wonder what's made it slightly different. She said when she asked Heaven and Earth Design about it, they told her it wasn't her imagination. Apparently the crown jewel canvases are recharted. She said there are small differences, she says, but they are definitely not the same. She said so she couldn't use Pattern Keeper if she wanted to on the crown jewel canvas. She said she was hoping that she could, because some of the symbols are tiny and some of them are very similar. So she wanted to use Pattern Keeper as a bit of a backup to make sure that she selected the right symbol. Oh, seems like when I do my Heaven and Earth Design chart, canvas that I have, maybe it's going to be a bit more different than I thought it was going to be. I had visions of it just being the same way as it would be me doing, for example, this diamond painting. The difference is just the diamonds don't come with it. But maybe it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge than what I first thought. Time will tell. But yeah, before I do a big giveaway with diamonds, I am going to check out my canvas, my crown jewel canvas from Heaven and Earth Designs. So what my thought is, for anybody that's not seen the Heaven and Earth Design whip and chats, I have talked about in some of my dekittings my spares box, which is a system that I love and a system that works perfectly well for what I want it to. As with any type of system that you have set up, sort of organisation system, it does need what we call a little bit of maintenance, a little bit of a spring clean every now and then. It happens with any of our spaces in our homes, and you tend to find the ones you use more often need maintenance more often, because of course you're in and out of it and you're messing about with it. So my spare storage is due a little bit of maintenance. There are quite a few bags. I do limit myself to 1 bag of spares per colour. And there are quite a few bags that I have probably overfilled for what I need, like they're very full. And quite often that's from dekitting a painting that maybe only has a few diamonds left. And I'm like, oh, well, they'll fit in the bag, so I'll put them in the bag, which is fair enough. But now I feel like I want to go through my spares and maybe some of those bags that are full, actually cream off that extra, take that extra out of them, allow me to put some more in future dekittings if I do only have a small amount, but just try and cream some off so that my spares fit nicely in their boxes. So I'm going to do a maintenance of my spare storage, but I'm going to do it at the same time as dekitting my massive Heaven and Earth Design project. The reason being is I'm likely to have a lot of diamonds left over from that. There are some that I have a full pot of diamonds in, and I only actually need to place 1 or 2 more on my Heaven and Earth Design project. So when I'm finished, I'm going to have a full pot of diamonds to dekit. So yeah, I'm going to do a maintenance and a dekitting all together. And what I think I'll do is I'll do the dekitting and maintenance together. And then once that has all been finished and I have all my extra diamonds. Before I give any away, I will then do a check through for anything that I can use for my Heaven and Earth Design Crown Jewel canvas, and I will keep those diamonds aside, and then the rest are there for giving away to other people with other projects and to help them out. So that will probably be August now before that comes, because it'll take me that long to finish my Heaven and Earth designs, but that'll be a little mini series that's coming then. But yeah, I definitely need to at least work out what diamonds I'm going to be using for my Crown Jewel canvas. Otherwise, say, a lot of people are very, very kind at sending spare diamonds and helping out. But I don't want people to be paying postage to send diamonds to me, and me to be paying postage to send diamonds to others when I actually am going to need them. And I don't want other people to be paying the postage to send me diamonds that I had at one point and just gave them away. So that'll probably be a mini series when I've finished my big Heaven and Earth design. In fact, I might do it on a Thursday after my big project's finished. And then once it's all done, then I'll start finishing up my mini Heaven and Earth design that's done from a chart, and get that one finished before I then kit up, or try and kit up, my Crown Jewel canvas one and see how it goes. So I always have a Heaven and Earth design project or two on the go. At the moment, while I have two kitted up, I'm concentrating on one. So I have a Heaven and Earth design project kitted up. I normally have just one large canvas kitted up and one small. And when I say small, I mean 30 by 40 type size. At the moment, I have two large canvases kitted up. I then have June Waffle canvas, which is an extra because of the month of the year it is. And then I have my Paint Gem Minis. So I have quite a lot of different paintings to choose from, but I do find I tend to focus, well, I do a little bit of my Heaven and Earth design most days. I do a Paint Gem Mini a day, pretty much. Again, there are some days I don't, but that's my aim. And then I tend to focus on one canvas after that. So one of my large ones or a 30 by 40. And they will switch. So some days, some weeks, I will just be doing my large one. And then I'll decide, oh, I fancy a break. So I'll pick up my 30 by 40. And I might do that for a few days. I might do it until I've finished it. It really depends on my mood, but I like to have the options of different ones kitted up, but I don't tend to work on all my canvases in one diamond painting session. So it's not like I have three or four and I move between them. I tend to focus on one for a bit until I need a break, and then I'll focus on another. Just in case it's confusing for you all. But having a Heaven and Earth design to do, I tend to do that in the morning. I then have a Paint Gem Mini. Sometimes I will do that and then move on to my large painting. Sometimes I may have got that done in an afternoon, at some point in the afternoon. Really depends how my day goes. And sometimes I don't get to work on any of them at all. It really depends. Tammy says she loves my Heaven and Earth design diamond painting. She says she does wish that she could find a blank one to do hers on. There are a few different places that do the blank canvas. You should be able to get one big enough. It's not the length of the canvas that they struggle with, it's the width. So I think you can only get a diamond painting canvas up to a certain width, though length you can get a lot more. and if your chart exceeds that, then sometimes you have to get 2 pieces of canvas and then try and fix them together. But there should be a few different sellers that can offer one. Spooky Crafts said a cheap and easy option for a roller for your diamond paintings. So you can get things like this. So I have one. They're often used with stamping, to be honest. I have one, and with my Heaven and Earth design, because it's lots of different manufacturers, I use it to go over my completed section to make sure all my diamonds are in. I don't find I need to on a normal diamond painting because the diamonds are from the same manufacturer. But with my Heaven and Earth design, I do. But yeah, she says a cheap version or a cheap option for rolling the popping drills is a Play-Doh roller. So there you go. You can use a rolling pin. You've got a rolling pin in your kitchen. You could use that. You could just use something that's, you know, to flatten it down. That's quite heavy if need be. I just tend to grab my roller and go over most of my sections on my Heaven and Earth design as I finish them, just to help make sure that they're secured into place. Because it's a confetti painting as well, sometimes I don't quite realise if I've not pushed a diamond down properly, because the colours are all so different. It can sometimes be a little bit easy to miss getting it that proper click. Liz says, thanks Rebecca. She said you kept me company while she was de-kitting her Easter Dragon by Randall Spangler from Diamond Art Club. She said she was changing some of her older, thinner and smaller bags in her spare storage while putting the drills away. She said, so it did take a little bit longer, but it was good to get it done. Yeah, I changed from thinner grip seal bags to the thicker grip seal bags in like a few lots of time. I actually changed mine and put what at the time was new DMC stickers onto the bags as I did it. So I did it as sort of a whole storage prettying up session, which is on my YouTube if you like to watch things like that. Yeah, I did a few sessions changing my bags to thicker ones and putting pretty stickers on them. I don't think did I change them to be square and rounds kept separate at the same time? I can't quite remember. But that I'd class as one of my spare storage maintenance times, just giving it a little tweak. In that instance, I was giving it a little bit of an upgrade and making it I think that's when I set myself the rule as well, to one bag per colour of diamond when I moved to the thicker ones. So that was just a little tweak that I did to my storage that suited me. Doesn't suit everybody, but the storage system can work for everybody, whether you have one bag of diamonds, spare diamonds, or whether you have 10, whether you keep all your manufacturers together or whether you like to split them. The storage box system can work for you because you can have as many or as few boxes as you want. But if it wasn't for me putting the stickers on and things, and it was just a matter of changing the bags, I too probably would have done it as I de-kitted. Because it's quite a task to do it for every single number. Whereas if you just do it when you're de-kitting a painting, it's just little bite-sized chunks every now and then, rather than trying to eat you know, the whole sandwich in one bite. So in one lot, sometimes it's better to just take little bites and do a little bit each time. Can make the process go great. I know if you've never saved spare diamonds before, and maybe you're just starting to, quite often you don't necessarily want to set up the whole storage system at once. You just put the stickers on the cards and do the cards for the colours that you have, rather than doing it for all of them. And then as you add more colours and more diamonds, your system grows with you, and you're not sitting there doing it all in one go. Unless, of course, that's half the fun for you, then that's a different matter. I am one of those people that will sit there and focus on said making a spare storage, for example, session all at once. But that's because it ticks boxes for me. It's what I enjoy. It's not what everybody enjoys. So you do what works for you, and the way of setting it up that works for you. Lady Dax, she says she's another person that at the moment she can't see herself doing a heaven and earth design. She says, but she does really enjoy watching me do mine. She says she loves seeing how it's coming together. And she says you're doing amazing with it this year. Yes, this year is definitely coming along a lot quicker than any other year. I think it did need me just to say, right, this project has gone on far too long. It needs a kick up the rear, is what it needs. My heaven and earth design needed the kick up the rear, and I do feel like this year is getting it. It is making me wonder what my 2024 goal will be, or challenge to myself. I set a diamond painting challenge in 2022 as well as 2023. I set myself something that was, you know, realistic to be able to achieve. And I feel like I have done in 2023. It's been realistic. At one point, if I'd have done my heaven and earth design section actually religiously every single day, this glue dot is just sticking out a little bit too much, so I'm just trimming it off with some scissors to see if that helps it behave itself. If I'd have stuck to doing one section a day religiously and didn't have days where I felt I was too busy, or didn't take weekends off, because sometimes remembering to do it at a weekend hasn't been easy, which is why I stopped forcing myself to, I probably would have finished my heaven and earth design by now. If not, it would have been very close to being finished. However, I do feel that setting a goal for it to be finished by the end of 2023 is a lot more doable. It's allowed me to be a lot more flexible according to life at the time. You know, the stage of life that I'm at, or even just the stage of, or the type of week that I'm having. It's been a lot more flexible to that, and I feel like it's worked loads better. So I'm still going for the end of 2023. We'll see how close I creep to December as we go along. Comment from Alice. So she says, good afternoon. She says she's sorry that her previous comment made me muck up my words. I can't actually remember which comment that was because it was a while ago, but sometimes, yeah, I do muck up my words. A lot of the time it's because maybe I've not read the comment fully before I'm looking away and placing diamonds. And other times, yeah, sometimes I just struggle with words. It really depends on what kind of day it is. I can't always pick, you know, a prime time of day to do a video according to my potential brain being at its at its best. And yeah, sometimes it does come across in my videos when really I should be switching off for the day and not filming. She says she doesn't have Audible, but she has thought about getting it so that she can listen to Mary Higgins Clark. So she says she may have to do a free trial. Yes, I like Mary Higgins Clark books. Maybe I need to go and have a look. The thing is, there is so many of her books that I have read in the past. I've read absolutely loads of them. But because I'm no good with names, sometimes I don't realise I've read them until I'm part way through potentially reading them again. Sometimes I don't get it just from the short description on the back of the book. And I have been known to pick up her books and end up with a couple of them. I know a few years ago, me and hubby were away and we went to like a little market where we were staying, and there was a Mary Higgins Clark, but it was only like £1. You know, it wasn't a lot. It was a second-hand little bookstall. And I picked one up thinking, oh great, I'll be able to, you know, read this later when we're chilling. And second chapter in, I was like, I know the outcome. I know the answer. So I keep expecting it to happen with Audible, and I'll end up spending a credit on a book and I'll get 2 chapters in and I'll know who did it. Maybe I need to see if I can sort by date and get some of the more recent books, and hopefully they won't be ones that I've seen. Alice also says she has fallen behind on my videos. She says only because she has been doing a Ravensburger 3D puzzle. She said it was the Big Ben with the working clock. Wow, love it. I actually did some Lego the other day. I got bought some Lego for my birthday. Was it my birthday or was it Mother's Day? I think it was my birthday. And I actually did take one afternoon and I was like, oh, I'm not going to diamond paint. I'm going to do my Lego. We also have a couple of jigsaws. Catherine loves a good jigsaw. And I have a few Wasgidge jigsaws in the cupboard that we haven't done. So I think while she's home from uni for the summer, we're thinking of maybe getting some of those out on occasion. So that will probably end up dragging me away from a diamond painting every now and then, just to do a puzzle. It tends to be Christmas and summer. We tend to get them out. Let me just check. Is that? Yeah, I'm just peeling that back to check whether it was the glue dot that wasn't allowing me to place the white, or whether it was me having some of the clear cover in the way. But no, it was that. So yeah, she's now catching up on videos. Well, say it's the cycle of life, isn't it? Some things go through different phases. And I find there are phases, you know, that I have loads of free time to do the things I want, and I might be caught up on all the YouTube videos that I watch, or caught up on a series of books, and then there'll be another period of life where I feel like I've got a list of books that I want to read and don't get a chance to listen to. Or maybe, you know, a period of time where I have far too many diamond paintings on the go and not enough time to do them. But this one will be finished by the end of June. So that's exciting. It's one that has managed to come into my stash and get done and finished rather than adding to my stash. Jordan, she says she too is short. She says she has big breasts and she knows the feeling of having to diamond paint on a desk without an easel. She said for her, she is so short, she can legally get her airbags turned off in her vehicle due to them causing her more harm than being helpful. She says she also has to take more breaks from diamond painting due to her shortness. She says when she takes her breaks, she says she does a load of dishes that she hand washes because she doesn't have a dishwasher. She said she finds that this break is just long enough to stretch and be ready to go back to diamond painting, and by the time she's finished, a load of dishes are done. That is a good way to do it. Think of it as your advert break. When you're watching TV, it tends to have an advert break, and you've just had the same. While I am short, I am under 5'2". I often say I'm 5'2" because I'm close to 5'2", but I am under 5'2". However, most of my shortness is in my legs. So when I'm sat down, I don't look as short as I actually am. But when I'm stood up here diamond painting, if you could see me, you would see how short. Maria, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she loves watching the videos of me working on my Heaven and Earth design. She says she's going to work on one, but it is only a 40 by 50. When working on a Heaven and Earth design, any size is an achievement. It definitely is. She says she's still waiting for some drills that she ordered and for her canvas to arrive. She said it'll be the first time for her to try it, but she is so excited. It is fun, it's different. And as much as I think, well, that's why we're here, as much as we all enjoy diamond painting as a whole, finding something that is a little bit different and a little bit new, maybe not seen before, can bring out excitement in all of us. It really can. It can change things up just a little bit. Not that we're bored of normal diamond painting, but sometimes it is nice to break up what you call the norm with a little bit something different. And that can be, there's quite a few different options for that. That different companies have either brought out as a whole thing or just as part of their collection. So you've got Heaven and Earth design, of course, that's different. Heaven and Earth design didn't start the process, but doing a cross stitch as a diamond painting is probably one of the big and maybe the more complicated options. Mystery paintings, that's another way that diamond painting companies have changed things up just a little bit, and often that's all it needs, just a little bit to make it something new. You've got the mini paintings, so Paint Gem Mini. While that company concentrates on the mini painting, it's the fact that they're so different that often attracts people. It's the fact that they are cute little themed images that attract some people. You have companies that have brought in AB diamonds to paintings. Quite often people just like the fact that there's a couple of ABs in there to make it a little bit different. Doesn't mean we don't want to do paintings that don't have them, but when ones do, it's like, ooh. You've got Fairy Dust is a new one that Diamond Art Club have brought in. Just a little twist on the norm. our advent calendar last year. You know, just the fact that it was an advent calendar that had been done brought in that little twist. You know, it's still a painting, but it's different. And doing a heaven and earth design brings that little bit of different. Doesn't take the enjoyment from doing normal diamond paintings. It just changes things up just a little bit. It's like doing this June waffle, doing it in sections that aren't next to each other and aren't in order. Changes it up. So you can change things up yourself as much as companies bringing out things that are different with different ideas. We've got something a little bit different for our advent painting this year. So stay tuned. We'll be letting you know what makes our painting different to those done by others. And yeah, it's just, it keeps it fun, keeps it fresh, and we still, pretty much all of us, still go back to what you'd call the norm, you know, and move about. I don't know of anybody, there may be somebody, but I don't know of anybody that has done a heaven and earth design, you know, or cross-stitch conversion and doesn't do anything but cross-stitch conversions anymore. People still like the change and the different types of paintings that you can get. Right. Sorry, just change. Realised the battery was flashing. Thought I'd better change that. Kaz says, hi Rebecca. She says she hopes I'm having a wonderful Sunday. Thank you. It's Friday now, but you didn't know this wouldn't be read out before June Waffle. Because I got quite a lot of comments on the last few weeks' Whip and Waffles. So I am a little bit behind on reading some of the comments. She says, as you are doing your big painting, she says she has just started one of her Fancels 40 by 40, which is Paddington Bear with Her Majesty the Queen. There is some gorgeous images of Paddington Bear with the Queen. After she did a little thing about marmalade sandwiches and Paddington eating them with the Queen. I can't remember what event it was for, but she did join in something that was on TV, and it was cute. Sherry, she says, beautiful diamond painting. She says she wants to purchase this one, which is La Scale Trella Chase, which is something about stairs. I can't remember the exact conversion now to English, but she does want to purchase that one once it comes back into stock. It is an absolutely gorgeous painting. It is one that may be going up in my home. I'm not exactly sure where yet. I do need to have a little bit of a mission at some point soon to find some frames for ones that I would like to put up in the house, and maybe have a revamp of some that I've got up in different places and maybe change some about. There are just so many gorgeous paintings out there that it's, yeah, there's loads that I love and enjoy doing, you know, for the image they are, and just enjoy the process. And then there are images that not only do I enjoy the process, but I actually would like the image up as artwork rather than just doing it for the fun of it. Yeah, and it can be hard deciding which. I don't have that many walls to be able to put things up. Not until I lose a few children, anyway. Until a few children move out, it's not quite the same. Oh, look, I might be able to get away with zooming in a little bit think that's still caught everything for when I do colours. I think we're going to have days where I'm zoomed in a little bit more than others, but I do need to make sure I can still reach. But I'm still on white. For anybody that's got their head down and is diamond painting along with me, I'm still on white. So I'll be changing to colours soon. Trisha, she says, hello Rebecca. She says, from San Antonio, Texas. She says, what are the requirements for the June Whip and Waffle? She said she started a Batman painting for her mum, that her mum wanted her to do for her cousin, and it's a biggie. She says it is 40 by 100. She said she keeps thinking, let me get this shifted. She said listening along while you work has helped. She says thank you. Well, if you're still working on that, continue to work on that. People are doing various different things. It's completely up to you. I don't have a load of rules. Diamond painting we do for fun. I don't want anybody to get stressed out by it. I like to do 2 events in the year, and the only thing is to take a little bit of me time each day. Some people are working on big projects. Some are working on paintings that they've started and not yet finished. Some people are working on about 5 paintings that they've started but not yet finished. They're using it as a bit of a spring clean and finish up projects that have been sat there for too long. I personally do 1 painting. Not that I don't have any ongoing. I do. I have plenty ongoing. But I think it's nice for people to be able to see a painting from start to finish, and a painting that is just finished on camera, and see the progress. I'm mainly here to just keep you company while you have your bit of me time. That's the main reason I do a whip and chat each day, to help keep people company. We chat about what you guys want to chat about. I often go on a little bit of a tangent, depending on what's been said, on what's going on, in the background. I'll chat about random stuff throughout. You guys will chat about random stuff throughout that may lead to something else random being discussed by me. It's just friends chatting. But the idea is to take a little bit of me time each day. So if you've got a big project that you've been asked to complete and you want that to be your main focus, then just do that. I will be doing giveaways throughout June Waffle. The June Waffle 1st and 2nd, so yesterday's and today's, I have done a little bit in advance because hubby and I have gone away for 4 days. And yeah, I want to make sure that everything is set up, but do stay tuned every day. There are definitely giveaways coming. Normally I would have done one in the first couple of days if it wasn't for being away, but you never know, there might be one coming tomorrow. Who knows? But yeah, I'm just throwing that in just to make it a little bit more fun. But you do you. If you haven't got time to diamond paint on one day, all I ask is that you try and find another way to have a little bit of me time. And that can be anything from going for a soak in the tub, going and getting your nails done, or maybe if you've got a biddy house with toddlers, maybe it's just being able to go to the bathroom on your own. Sometimes, whatever stage of life you're in, that may be the only bit of me time that you get. Just savour it when you do. Savour that bit of me time. Anne-Marie, she said she couldn't ever get a 3-placer to work. She said she switched to a 4 multi-placer and it was loads easier. Oh, maybe that is my another confirmation that a 4-placer is a nice one to work with. She said she's got no idea why it was easier. All she knows is it was. She says she then went up one every so often. She said she is now on a 10-placer and she can multi-place a lot faster than she can single place. She says keep going and you'll get used to it. See, part of me really, really wants to get used to multi-placing and get as fast as I can single place. And part of me doesn't want to. I do and I don't. I like the sense of achievement of knowing that I placed every single diamond. There is something about that. There is something about, just the calming nature of just dotting. Say, even all this white I've done, it doesn't bother me. I enjoy it. But then there is also part of me that knows I have so many paintings in my stash. I would be able to get the excitement of the start and get to the point of getting to the excitement of the finish without a big gap in between. Without that sort of middle ground of a painting where it's not that you get bored, but you just don't get that little rush from starting it or from finishing it. Sometimes I do find that actually splitting it up into sections can keep the excitement going for a bit longer, because you get excited when you do a section that meets up with another section, as well as getting the excitement of moving about to, say from doing a section that while it had a lot of white, it had quite a bit of purple in, to then go into a section where there's just dots of colour like this one. But yeah, I do want to multi-place a bit more. I think there are times that it would be handy. But yeah, it's just a matter of remembering when and doing that little bit of practice, but knowing it will take some time and not necessarily trying to rush it, because I still want to enjoy diamond painting in the meantime. But maybe I need to get myself a 4-placer and give it a go with one of those. Darcy, she said, hello Rebecca. She said, as of the time of this upload, she now has a stackable washer dryer. She said, so laundry for the next 3 days and then she'll be caught up. Oh, there is something so nice about being caught up on laundry. I wish I could say the same. I've just had a child come home from uni with weeks worth of washing, but there is something nice about when you get all caught up. At least she's come home when the sun's shining. That's all I can say. She said the laundromats here have become way too expensive to do weekly. She said costing around $30 a week. Oh, you'll definitely save a load now you've got yourself a washer dryer. I mean, we've got a combi washer dryer, so our washing machine can dry as well. But to be honest, we hardly ever use it. It's not the most cost effective or even, the quickest way to dry clothes sometimes. And yeah, it's amazing how many clothes in the UK say that they're not fit for a tumble dryer anyway. And with the cost of electric and all the rest of it, we already go through enough electric running all the printers, so I don't need to add a dryer to it. So I love it when I can hang it out on the line. And then I only use the dryer if we really need something done quick. I just don't use it otherwise. Lady Dax, must be a longer one. Oh, yeah, it is. She says, Rebecca, she said you forgot makeup at Woolies. Oh, yeah, Woolies used to do makeup as well. They just did all sorts at Woolies. They really did. She says she's a deal older than me. She says, but as teens, they flocked there, she said, to buy their budget face paint. She says Mother Earth, her version of her copy or her doing of Mother Earth is now finished and it's hung up in the lounge. She said she looks amazing and she says she does have to thank me for getting her after watching her on my Whip and Waffles. There are some paintings that you just really don't see their beauty until you either see a picture of one that somebody's completed, probably even more so than just the likes of the schematic, you know, the mock-up of what it's going to look like. There is something to be said for seeing a painting actually completed, or somebody working on one and seeing the colours. I think it definitely can change your mind about some. Mother Earth was actually bought not because it was a painting I saw, fell in love with, definitely wanted, all that sort of thing. I think we were on Diamond Art Club's website for something for Megan. It's one that she'd seen posted in the group. So again, she hadn't seen it on their website. It might have been King's Path. I'm not sure if it was that one or a different one. But I'm pretty sure it was a painting that she wanted to get because she'd seen somebody post their version of it and she fell in love with it. And it was... the shipping was different with Diamond Art Club then, and it was worth getting up to the point of free shipping. So I went browsing on that site and decided to get Mother Earth as... Oh, see, look, I nearly did it. I nearly tried to tip all the diamonds out the tray. Yeah, and she decided to get... I decided to get Mother Earth to go with it to make the shipping worth it. Just as something a little bit different to what I've normally done. And I absolutely love doing it, so much more than I thought I would. It might have even been doing Mother Earth that made me realise how much I get real enjoyment out of doing a diamond painting with loads of bright colours, even if they're not the ones that I put in my home. They might not be the ones that I hang up, but they're the ones that I absolutely love doing. And I think I do get drawn to some paintings that are full of colour a bit more because of it. But yeah, she's a stunner. She's an absolute stunner. She said she's decided not to section her June ribbon into 30, as she will be having her grandsons until the 3rd. So she'll just do as much as she can till they've gone home. She says, but no doubt they'll be having a go at a keyring or a sticker themselves while they're here with them. She says she can only use a single placer and a 2-placer. She says she's tried the others, but they will just not go on straight. I think sometimes the diamonds can make a difference, depending on what painting you're working on. So the diamonds can make a difference. And that's sometimes even with the same companies. A different painting can be different to another. So it's always worth another little go of it to see if they work. I keep having to remind myself that I'm not tipping down the diamonds and I am just grabbing a tray. I must admit, I kind of like it. I kind of like the fact I can just grab a tray, do a few dots and put my tray back. it's good, people. It's good. I just kind of wish that I had like some big craft room with a diamond painting table, that I could have a nice big drafting table and have my trays on a stand like this all the time. I kind of feel like I could get so much done. Anyway, stop talking, otherwise you're not going to get any more done. Now it's a cross between, do I talk too much? But I do feel like I'm getting it done quicker. It's still taking a while though. It is a larger painting than I normally do on a June waffle. So hopefully you are all still getting a decent amount of waffling for you to be able to get your own done and have plenty of time to get some done. Right, I want the dot one next. Keep trying to think, which one do I want next? And I'm trying to work up a section. And I want the number 3. See, I only need one. How much easier is that than trying to tip them out into a pot lid? Right, let's give ourselves the number H, so that's 798. Let's tip some of that into here. I wonder how long it'll be as well until, apart from white, I run out of a colour in my tray and have to tip some more in. I wonder how long that'll take. Number 6, and then number 7. And after placing all that white, this has actually been finished off really quick. So I think I'm definitely going to set up these trays for my Heaven and Earth Design Mini that I don't have a lot of diamonds with. I think I'm definitely going to use those trays for that, because I think it will make doing each section loads better. Just making sure these are as straight as I can get them. Give them little nudges. But there, look, we got little splatters. Day 2 is done. So we've done that one and that one. We're getting there. I'm not sure how I'm liking these clear covers. I kind of like the fact I can see what the image is going to be, but I can see myself going back to clear covers very soon. But anyway, that is day 2 done. Thank you all so much for joining me. Have an absolutely amazing Friday, and I will speak to you all again tomorrow.